man he make man. God made man. God wants man to obey him.
Bringing you real news.
You don't need a black man in the White House. You need a black man in every black house.
For many years, there's a lot of black people who didn't realize how deep the racism of white America was.
You ain't gonna do nothing unless you decide where you gonna stand at with the Most High.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
Righteous solutions to issues plaguing our nation.
Boy, you better wake up and see the power that is within blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians.
Join us every Monday from 9 to 11 p.m. Black Watch. Let the show begin.
Let's get it on, man. All right, here we are again tonight, getting it on Monday night, here with Commanding General YAHANNA. He will be here very shortly. Until then, we'll hold it down for him. Give it up to General Mike Alakar. Give him a hand, General Mayak. Officer Marah, Officer Yedaya.
That's right.
All the young officers in the back. Give them a hand.
That's right.
Holding it down with a young man up in here as well.
That's right.
Let's get it on in here tonight, man, for Commanding General YAHANNA. Once again, stand by. He'll be here very shortly, all right? Yedaya, where we are tonight?
Khan, sir. Florida woman who fatally shot a black neighbor admitted hurling racial slurs at victims' children in the past.
This was a big story, Mayaka, terrible story. Who can give me some details about it? Who knows about it? I know it was this sister that got in some usual argument that neighbors have when they live close to each other. Arguments about parking, arguments about noise, arguments about someone's kids or someone's pets. You know, common, normal, everyday things, except it's not common and normal when you live around people that hate you.
God.
And let me tell you something. If you've ever wondered where the crime comes from in the Black and Latino community, stories like this, I hope, will enlighten you. I hope it will show you something about our oppressor that you don't want to see. Because you think that blacks and Latinos, you think we're the drug dealers. You think we're the murderers. You think we're the thieves. The behavior that you have grown up with in a Black and Latino neighborhood is the behavior that was taught to them by their Jesus, by their God, by our oppressor. Blacks and Latinos are attempting to emulate white behavior. That's it. But this poor sister is living round about some devil, some heathen, and they get an argument over something. The sister goes back into the house. The oppressor shoots her through her door and murders her. And of course, you know, when it came time for the trial, she didn't plead guilty. You know that, right, Maya?
Yeah.
You would think she would. Nah, she didn't plead guilty. What was her plea? Not guilty. She was justified in shooting her. Who can guess why? Blow my mind with the answer. Why was she justified in killing this black woman, shooting her through her door, officer? No, why? And what was her defense in court, officer? She was afraid for her life. She gave the same defense that crooked cops like the I.U.I.C., those purple pigs that they give every time they go to court when they violate a black and Latino's rights. They're all scared.
Yeah.
They have all the guns, all the backup. They got the Constitution, the president, the mayor, and the governor on their side, and they're scared to death. Well, this white woman, can I say, I can't say that. This oppressor is probably going out, is about to get cut. This oppressor, that was her justification in court, that she was afraid. She was terrified. And now she's attempting to fight this case. So as she's fighting the case, they, of course, go through her history and find out what, Officer Yedaya?
Sir? A Florida woman who fatally shot a black neighbor during a dispute over kids playing outside admitted hurling racial slurs at the children.
This is a killing Karen. This is a Karen story. The kids are playing outside. The kids are too loud. The kids, you know, their ball hits her car. They're playing too close to her car. God forbid they're going on her grass in any way possible.
Right.
That grass is like as precious and holy, like the sepulcher.
Yeah.
An oppressor's grass. And so she shoots this woman through the door. She tries to defend herself to say, listen, I only shot her because I was afraid. I was afraid for my life. Allow me to kill black people the way you allow cops to murder black people, the way you allow purple pigs to violate the rights of blacks and Latinos. They arrested her, however. She went to court, but then the prosecution went to dig through her life and found what again, Udiah?
Colonel Khan, sir, admitted hurling racial slurs at the children and told detectives the victim threatened to kill her.
Oh, no. She admitted that, yeah, in the past, she did call her the N-word. She did hurl racial slurs at her. But guess what? The defendant threatened to kill her. She was afraid. Don't you understand the propaganda and the lies about this mythical black violence gene that somehow we all have? Right. This mythical black crime gene that we're all just born with. Meanwhile, our oppressor slaughters neighborhoods, lynches communities, bombs countries, and he is innocent, and no one is ever too afraid of him. No one is ever scared of him. And you're going to see this defense happen all over this country. You're going to see it happen with the Latinos that are coming over here and the Haitians that are coming over here. Everyone is so afraid of us that they have to use their superior firepower to kill us. Everyone is so terrified of us that they have to use all of their money to slaughter us and oppress us and take away our rights. Because why? They're scared of us. They're afraid of the most powerless people in the country. People that have absolutely no power. And this oppressor gave this defense in court because it works when you're a cop. When you're a crooked cop, this defense works. And now because of the internet, oppressors know that this is a good defense because they hear about the cases where crooked police officers aren't convicted, aren't even charged because they said they were in fear of their life. So now just average citizens are going to unalive you. Now just average citizens are going to unalive you, and their defense will be they're afraid of you. Let's pray that this can be one of the rare times in this country that justice can be served on the side of our people, man. Sometimes it can happen. Sometimes the Most High God can turn the mind of even a totally wicked person and allow us to have justice. He did it in Egypt, and he'll do it here in America. It can happen, and let's pray that this sister's family receives justice, man. Next story. Unless you have precepts, if not, let me know. See me one more time, warrior.
So we got a precept. Obadiah chapter 1, verse 10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob.
For thy what?
Violence against thy brother Jacob.
For thy what?
Violence against thy brother Jacob.
Listen, it is on. If you add this to the list of the great lies of society, the biggest lie is the color of Jesus Christ. That's the biggest lie in history. The nationality of the true biblical ethnic Jews. That's the next biggest lie in history. Let me give you another very important lie. The mythical inherent violence of blacks and Latinos. That's a myth. That doesn't exist. The violence that you see blacks and Latinos do is them directly mimicking the superior race in this country. I'll give you another example. Where was I at today? I went down there. You know, a lot of my ribs. I have a much polygamy, Maya. You know that? I'm involved in much polygamy. Ooh wee, and it's good. Oh, nice. It's mind blowing, Maya. Some of my polygamy is like my mind goes into the multiverse of madness. Some of that polygamy sends me into the multiverse of madness, Maya.
Make Nasty Nate throw up.
Nasty Nate would cry and run to his mama if he saw the kind of polygamy I'm involved in. It's supernatural. It's the Spider-Verse. Anyway. So a lot of my ribs like to have a good brunch. So I'm down there in how can I say this? In the most LGBT friendly place in the world, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And I'm walking down there. The brunch down there is amazing, Mike. You can imagine. It's so much brunch down there. Yeah. It's bottomless mimosas down there for the sisters out. Yeah. You know, I mean, it's just
where were you?
13th and Walnut, all down there in that 13th Street area in Philly is an LGBT haven. Listen, I parked outside of a restaurant called Woody's. I started and I parked because I said somebody gonna see my truck outside this restaurant, and I'll be like, listen, I know what it looks like, but I'm just here to get the brunch. Can I eat? I just want some brunch.
That's it.
I mean, I know what this looks like now. But the Bloody Marys and the mimosas in here is insane.
Right.
And this French toast, come on. Like a broad can't resist that French toast. Go ahead, Narab.
Got on my concert. You know, we do the street talk.
Uh-huh.
We had orders to ask specific questions.
I understand.
To specific people of that community.
I understand.
And me and Di and the brothers, we looked at each other. We said, "Oh man, we already know what they're gonna say."
Right.
Like, look,
if you catch a flat tire down here, you're gonna have to explain that. You're gonna have to say, I know what it looks like, but I got a flat down there. So anyway, I'm down there eating the brunch, and I'm walking to the place from my car. I'm walking by Woody's. I'm walking by a restaurant called Flambeau, like flamboyant, Flambeau. Brother, there was so many names, just overtly sexual LGBT names.
Brazen with it.
I mean, brazen sexuality on every restaurant. The streets are painted in the flag. The flag is on the street signs. The neighborhoods are just sexually provocative. You know, a coffee place named Hard-Ons or something like that. It's a coffee place. And I'm walking by this, and everyone is shopping. Everyone is thriving down there. And I said, how is it that this community is able to be so successful while we've been here for YAHANNA? Clap it up for Commander General YAHANNA. Go ahead, man. Oh, sorry. I was just telling the brothers a story about this. Was it Sunday? I forget. It was this week. And I was down in the LGBT part of Philadelphia.
Don't tell me you ran into Nate.
I did not.
Okay.
But the place, I was telling the brothers, I parked my car outside of a restaurant called Woody's.
Yikes.
Walked by Flambeau, like me, flamboyant.
Yeah.
Hard-ons. I mean, sexually explicit, sexually provocative words that they're making funny, and they're naming a coffee house after this,
Yeah.
Just any little restaurant. The streets are covered. On the streets are painted with the LGBT flag. The street signs are LGBT, and the place is bustling, brother. The place I went into was the place that had no line because every other place had 50 people outside. 50 people outside standing in line to get French toast in this neighborhood. And as I walked to my car and walked to the restaurant, I said, how is it possible that this neighborhood can thrive like this? Neighborhood when I was a kid wasn't like this. This place didn't look like this when I was young. It just built up over years, over 20 years, and now it's like in New York. It's like the West Village in New York. And I'm walking thinking to myself, and it came over me, that same psychosis that I know happens with all Blacks and Latinos. I begin to feel like a failure with my people because my people didn't have something like this. And we all feel that feeling when we go to Chinatown or when we go to different places where we see that our oppressor or the other nations have such a wonderful neighborhood and they're thriving. And so the sickness in you could go, damn, why don't my people have something like this? And that's what I said to myself. I said, damn, look at how this neighborhood is thriving. Look at how rich they are. A neighborhood that wasn't even here 20 years ago. And now this community, this subsection of America is thriving. Where's ours at? Why don't we have a Black neighborhood, a Latino neighborhood that's thriving, where you can go listen to Black music and the streets are painted in our colors and with our artists on the walls and every line out in front of every restaurant. Oh, then I remembered. We tried that about 57 times. And every time the city was burned to the ground and the people who owned the restaurants murdered. And that's when it shook me out of it. Like, I don't have to feel bad about myself. Like, I'm Black. I'm a member of the race that can't do anything.
Right.
I'm a member of the people that can't have a neighborhood. Oh, we did have that. Right. We had it about 110 times.
So true.
All over the country, all over the planet, and each time they murdered the business owners, murdered the people who, oh Jesus. They unalived the business owners, unalived the people who own the airports, and unalived the doctors, unalived the lawyers, unalived the entrepreneurs, and then burned the cities to the ground. And then after a while, you know what happened? We just gave in to the inevitable destruction of our community. Why pick up the trash when they're going to kill everyone in here if it looks nice? If the place is clean, we're all going to die. If there's a business here, we're all going to be unalived. If there's a business here, we're going to get unalived because there's a business here. If we drive a car that is nicer than theirs, they're going to unalive everyone in this town. Before you know it, we just give in to the inevitable destruction. And then in the 60s, we just burned them down ourselves. Right? I mean, they were getting burned down in the 30s. Every last one, it was an epidemic. If you pull the list up of race, what they call race riots or race massacres, the list is as long as this table.
And so many that's unknown.
So many. I think only 3 are known, if not 1 is known.
You're right. So many known. When it came out that they did Central Park, it was a shocker.
Oh.
Wilmington, North Carolina, nobody knew about. That was a shocker. We only really getting the beginnings of the stories of Durham, North Carolina. And there's tons of stories in Alabama. They find the areas. Remember, not too long ago, they found that Wall Street was under a black, was built over a black graveyard.
That's right.
So you're right. It was tons of that. And boy, that's something in that. I don't want to cut in. I don't let you finish.
I learned about Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn this week. This week.
It was something with Bed-Stuy. Come on.
Entire thriving black community. They burned it down, had a race riot, and rose up Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn.
And you never, listen, I grew up in New York and I never heard of it.
So once again, I mean, read the story one more time, Salaki.
Florida woman who fatally shot a black neighbor admitted hurling racial slurs at victims' children in the past.
So stories like this, that's that story, sir, that Edomite that shot a sister through her door because, of course, she was terrified of her. She was scared to death of her. And so, of course, she preys on another great lie of society that we are somehow inherently violent, inherently criminals. And that's the reason we don't have any community. That's the reason that we don't have businesses. That's the reason that we're so destroyed. But in actuality, it's the violence of our oppressor that destroyed the black community.
That's right.
It's the violence of other people that destroyed our neighborhood, sir.
So I was just going to add to what you're saying, brother. Because what you're saying, boy, somebody need to make a clip of this. Yedaya, get on this. Make a clip of everything General Muhammad said in the last 2-3 minutes. And make a clip of this, because let me tell you something, Mark. If I could just add to what you're saying, like, and y'all know this, like when you say stuff like that, that joint. This is why I'll never get tired of teaching the truth. I'll never get tired of warring in the truth, because when you say stuff like that, it's so crystal clear why we do what we do. Because once again, if you could remove the smoke screen and look at exactly what it is, boy, your head gonna get right. And something you just said too that was just stuck in me deep. When you said, I realized that I didn't have to feel bad about us not having it. Yeah. Brother, I think nobody but people in the truth know that. Like, that ain't no small thing. Like, nobody, am I lying? Like, I don't think nobody outside of people in the truth know that. Like, people outside of us in the truth think, it is true that we don't have it because we lazy, we don't want to work. You know what I'm saying? And the worst part is the more educated we are, the more we believe it. The more successful blacks become as an individual, the more their brain can't comprehend why I'm successful. I got a college degree. I'm successful. I make money. But my black community seems to be in complete failure. It must be true that we don't. And listen, and you in the truth, Muhammad, and it still hit you.
That's right.
It still hit you like, why we don't have? And then you had to catch yourself through the Spirit of the Lord to know. Well, of course we don't. Like why the fuck would? Excuse my friend. Why would we? Sorry, TikTok. What's up, y'all? Manager, y'all know I don't mean nothing about it. Y'all chill out. All right. Like, why wouldn't we? Why would we? Can I just read one scripture on what you're saying? Because what you're saying, like, it's big motivation. For somebody that really wants to know and to really say to themselves, why are we in this situation? This right here is big motivation. Lamentations, 4th chapter, one of our favorites. Started the 16th verse. You're doing 3 quick verses if I could, y'all.
Lamentations chapter 4 and verse 16.
I might give you 4 verses if it's all right. Go ahead.
This
is what you're saying, brother, is really, really a cornerstone of what we do. And once again, this is why it takes a certain man to handle the truth and be a prophet. Because to be a prophet, you got to not look at what looks obvious. A prophet got to look at what did the Lord say? What is the Lord's business? And he stands on that. He don't, even if it looks totally like I'm wrong. He still know that what these scriptures say is right. And in time, the Lord gonna open it up and you're gonna be able to see, holy crap, I've been thinking totally different, which is heavy, what you brought out. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go into the scripture, I'm gonna get up off it. I don't mean to jump on top of it. But brother, this scripture right here, from way back in the day, this scripture right here, I know y'all know it all day long, but it's a beautiful scripture. 16th verse. Go ahead,
sir. Lamentations chapter 4 and verse 16. The anger of the Lord hath divided them.
We divided. The poor against those that gave their soul over to the left-hand side. And I say gave their soul over to the left-hand side because there's a whole lot of successful black people who do not have the same spirit. They successful and they more mad at Esau for what he did than they are at black people for what we doing. You understand what I'm saying? Like, there's people, this ain't got nothing to do with rich or poor. It has to do with you loving your people enough to see what happened to them and to look into the history, to examine what went on. Go ahead,
sir. He will no more regard them. They respected not the persons of the priest.
Without the priest of the Most High, you fail. A nation fails. Our nation fails, not the heathens. But our nation, we got to have the men of God. Go ahead, This is why our job is so important. For those of you brothers and sisters out there in TikTok wondering why we do what we do, this is why we do what we do. Because you need the priest of the Lord to do what you do. Go ahead.
Sir. They favored not the elders.
They favored not the brothers who said in the past. Like, we look at the brothers in the past that say, yeah, man, they broke it. Yeah, man, it ain't right, man. They've been doing us dirty. We look at them like, oh, they just old. And they just, failed. Or they just, I'll do it better. And not knowing that them old heads know what they talking about in many cases. Go ahead,
verse 17. As for us, our eyes has yet failed for our vain help.
Our vain help is that one day America's going to help us. One day we're going to be a part of the melting pot. It's going to be beautiful until you, like you said, you go down to the LGBT and you see a neighborhood where Esau has not only never stopped them, but he has supported them. He has protected them. He has encouraged them. And it don't matter what they do, they make sure that neighborhood thrives and comes up. And then here's the sad part. Then you got to go down there to eat in a decent place because they support it. You know, man, you're not. Go ahead, And then here's the sad part, if I could. The sad part is then our people look at us like y'all just full of hate. Y'all just look at your history. The history of our people in this country and, Central South America, Caribbean. I mean, the history of what we done been through in these places is absolutely horrific and a nightmare. And it's the most insane thing you ever seen. Go ahead,
Salakia. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us.
We done watch, like we watching up under Esau. We waiting, voting for Biden, Kamala Harris, Democrats. We accepting LGBTQ. You know what I'm saying? We accepting everything they ask us to accept. We are accepting it. as a people, hoping that one day we get to be a part. Go ahead,
Khan, verse 18. They hunt our steps.
But they hunting our steps. You come up with a new idea or a new way to thrive or a new way to prosper, they hunting your steps. You can see it with the purple vaginistas. Them vaginistas, man, is out there hunting our steps. That's my new word for them. The purple vaginistas is constantly hunting our steps. How's gonna bring that joint out tonight? How they moved that speaker? I could not believe it. They said they moved that speaker 3 times. I can't wait to see the tape. They moved that speaker 3 times. Like they hunting our steps and using dirty tricks and dirty cops and all of that because why? We come into the truth and our brothers and sisters is highly motivated. Yeah. Families getting built, kids coming up. We ain't got the vibe of we ain't got that vibe. That vibe on us is like we alive and vibrant, and they see it. They see that, and they thinking to themselves, how we stop it? Deploy the purple vaginistas. And before you know it, you under attack. Don't know where the hell you get Salaki. You getting attacked from. Come on with it, TikTok. Y'all know I ain't lying. You know I'm not lying, TikTok. Go ahead.
Khan said. Now we cannot go in our streets.
Right. We can't go in our streets. In other words, we can't go build in our streets. We can't go prosper in our streets. We can't go, raise ourselves up. We're trapped off. And these cities, man, they keep us well trapped off in these cities, man. These cities is made strictly to, like, all the money comes out of the city. Because where do you see the abandoned towns at? Not in the city, in the more remote areas. Yeah. But how is it that if the city is so prosperous, why is it we so destroyed on the bottom? Like we living worse than the worst poorest Edomites out in suburbs with towns that's barely still alive.
That's right.
Will show you that they hunting our steps, that we can't go out into the streets and be the people we need to be. Okay? Like it's ridiculous that every business in the ghetto is somebody else's business. Yeah. But again, you go down to the LGBTQ and all their businesses is run by people that is in the LGBTQ. There you go. And I can guarantee you they got somebody in City Hall helping them. I can guarantee you they got some liaison to the LGBTQ community for any complaints they got. You understand? They got somebody that'll come down, look at the complaints. I can guarantee you they got people in city planning that say, okay, for these 5 square blocks, we ain't gonna build no high-rise superstructures. Mm-hmm. We're gonna keep it nice little shops for them. Mm-hmm. All of that. I guarantee you that they're getting advertisement in newspapers for people to come from all over the world to their little community. I guarantee you all of that is going on down there. Okay? But no. Go ahead, I can finish it up.
Sir. Khan. Our end is near.
Our end is near. Go ahead.
Khan. Our days are fulfilled.
Right. That's how we live. We live like our end is near and our days are fulfilled. Like we done. That's the life we live until you come into the truth. Then, of course, you come back alive. Now you know what the Lord's plan is. You ready to go. Go ahead, finish it up.
Khan,
oh, that was it, right?
Just a little bit more, sir.
Go ahead.
Khan. For our end is come.
Right. In our mind, our end is come. I'm going to go one more of y'all on mine real quick. Go ahead,
Khan, sir. Verse 19. Our persecutors are swifter than the eagles of the heaven.
Which is such a clue. The Lord calling them like the eagles of heaven. Like them eagles fly up high, man, come down hard and hit their target and come right back up. Them eagles get down when they go to war. You know what I'm saying? And they say, that's how ours are. They like, you don't even see them coming. You trying to build and do this and, have black businesses and coming together. You don't even know. They sitting up there watching you, monitoring you. And when they get ready, they come down and strike and destroy everything you tried to set up and build. They shut down I couldn't believe it, man. Los Angeles was known for swap meets. Mm-hmm. That was big back in the day. Swap meets. They was making tons of money. Blacks and Latinos was making tons of money in swap meets. And they shut all of them swap meets down, I heard, in the West Coast. Stopped all the blacks and Latinos from them swap meets because, of course, that was a market for poor people. Same with the flea markets.
Yeah.
They shut a ton of those flea markets down because you was not having to go to the grocery store now. People was growing food, and they're going to come against that food in a minute, too, because, you know, that's the new thing. People growing food. That's the new thing. Farmers markets, right, and all of that. No, not even just that. People growing it at home. People growing it. They got all that vertical growing. Y'all heard about that? They all growing food. People growing food. Watch in a minute. You're going to hear laws, certain new laws. They'll start with the water. They'll say, well, you can't use with so much water. I'll start there. And then from there, it'll be like, well, it's a health hazard that you're growing the food at home. Meanwhile, they shipping stuff all the way from Mexico on the back of trucks in crates. That's okay. But you start growing it at home, you watch. Anything that we do that helps prosper us, they watch it. And when the time comes, they pounce on it. And just like what you're saying, and in the end, you know, our next generation will come back and look at us and say, damn, y'all ain't did nothing with it. You know what I'm saying? Like go ahead, Jenna, please.
Because Esau, after they shut down the businesses, they start pushing a narrative of there's opportunity everywhere, but they won't take advantage of it. There's opportunity, but how come? Look, the Asians did it. We came over here on boats. They did it.
The Italians,
right? The Italians, yeah.
The Jewish, the
goddamn. Oh man,
Arab.
No, I'm thinking. Irish.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're right. Yeah, like, what's your problem?
Y'all can't do it.
Right. Meanwhile, we can't do it because you're attacking us as a people. And then we so brainwashed. Don't nobody want to. They don't want. You can't say, listen, we're under attack. To them, it's like you just blaming the white man. Stop blaming him for your problems. When, brother, that is the problem. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem. Finish it out so we can pass it back.
Colonel Khan, sir. They pursued us upon the mountains. They lay wait for us in the wilderness.
Right. They looked for us everywhere they could to trap us off and stop us. And this is exactly what you're saying. You go in to see them neighborhoods, you be like, how are they doing this? Like I used to do it in New York. I used to go in New York in certain neighborhoods, and I would see them with these little like what looked like a novelty shop in a neighborhood where the rent is like thousands of dollars because it's such an upscale neighborhood. I used to say to myself, how do they have this business that look like ain't nobody walking in here with this high rent in this neighborhood, and they just as chipper and upbeat and all of that. And I'm talking before the internet. And I was like, I used to wonder, like, how do they do this? And because if you able to do that and you don't have somebody dragging you into the grave every minute, then you know it'll happen. I even watched the Africans. The Africans stay in certain areas, you know, when they open up businesses. I don't know if you noticed that. If you notice that the Africans in the United States, they move in certain areas and run their businesses in those areas. I'm gonna get up off right now. And as they run those businesses in those areas, they work themselves to get control of the area, and then they go appeal to the politicians and make sure the politicians know that we're not them. We're not the ones y'all trying to wipe out. We different. And before you know it, they got liaisons and everything. Then it's like, okay, well, we got to now get on top. And of course, every one of these neighborhoods, like you brought out, that LGBTQ neighborhood, every one of these neighborhoods all start out as one of our neighborhoods. All the time. They decide a certain area they like and they want, and then they move into that area. I'm talking about all nations. And brother, that's why the Lord made them laws, man. What you said is so heavy, and why we should always be motivated, even if it looks totally like we're incorrect and wrong. What we're doing is so necessary because we're the only ones who the brainwashing has not affected. We're the only ones that our brain is still functioning with normalcy and seeing through all the madness. Salaki, I'm off of it. Damn right.
Just to back you up, sir, you want to get angry. There's a there's a restaurant in Center City, Philadelphia, nothing but cereal.
I heard of that store.
It's a cereal.
I heard of that
bowls,
store.
Milk, almond milk, regular milk, 2% milk, and cereal from the store. You're not homemade cereal. I mean tricks, Cheerios, peanut butter crunch, And I walk by there and stand out there and go and feel, what is going on? Like,
Yes.
how are they paying the rent in here when it's not even homemade cereal? It's supposed to make them oppressors feel nostalgic about their youth, Tricks and and Cheerios.
Yeah.
And they're paying rent. That has to be. Can you imagine? How much could that rent be down there?
Yes.
My $10,000 a month?
Yeah. More than that.
Go in there to eat a bowl of Tricks in there.
Yeah.
Eat a bowl
They
of
have a
cereal.
bowl of cereal.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Can I add one more thing?
Go ahead.
What you're saying, and everybody should know this, what you are bringing out is exactly what created Jim Crow laws. We got emancipated in 1865. By the turn of the century, Black people and Latino people were inventing and building and farming at an amazing rate. It took us a ton of years to get to that point. But even with the oppression, by the turn of the century, we was exploding all over the place. That's why you hear about all these millionaires in the 20s, because in the turn of the century, they started some little hair care business, and over 20 years became millionaires. And then that's when Esau saw, we got to do something. They're getting rich. They're buying their neighborhoods. They're building real estate. They're opening banks. We remember all them banks you hear about, all them newspapers you hear about, all them black colleges you hear about. That was before they got wind of what to do with us. Then came in the Jim Crow laws from the 1930s. Not only Jim Crow laws, but they allowed the mob to abuse us as well. So from the 1920s right on up through the 50s, all they did was smash us into the ground. So we couldn't take it no more. Then the 60s came, we revolted again. And that's when you have all your civil rights and all of that. Why did we get to that point when we had millionaires in the 1920s? That's right. It was no reason for us to go there. But we went there because all those wealthy blacks turned around now and said, yo, we got to do something, because they trying to cut off all our money in our businesses. And so they turned around and got into the whole civil rights movement. The pushcart workers, which I love to read about in Chicago. Yo, them cats was running that railroad out. And do you know that they was making so much money for that railroad? That railroad built them towns, specifically outside of Chicago. They had whole towns where it was all black railroad workers and their families out. And their families was home all day. And the pushcart workers ran on the railroad. And brother, they had homes and businesses. And they was prospering as hell. And which led to the civil rights movement. Because they was like, we doing good, but all the rest of the blacks, you cutting them off. And sure enough, they came in, and that's when all the drugs came in, all the crime that you see. None of that was going on back then. All the drugs, the crime, and really the whole so-called black crime wave period comes from drugs. Ain't nobody, gangs and drug dealing all turn back to money. And the only money it turns back to is drug money. You take the drugs out of it, you won't see another gang on the street. You take the drugs out of it, you won't see another crime, another stick up, or any of that. But you see that because why? Selling drugs teaches you how to get fast money, teaches you how to do a shortcut. And so, of course, if you could turn off your morals for the people that you're getting ready to abuse, then you're going to turn to that market because it's a fast market. And the sad part is, the more you destroy your own neighborhood and your own area, you begin to have less hope that there's actually another way. Like if you see the neighborhood and it's destroyed and everybody's on drugs, you certainly don't think to yourself, well, if I stop selling these drugs, I could probably get a job in Mr. Wilson's store and pay for my rent and pay for my family and take it. You like, that's ridiculous. So it damn near works against you. And it's the evilest thing in the world. And we're the only ones caught up in it. And once again, last point, and I'm going to give it up. You brought out was so sparking, so heavy. And the point I wanted to bring out is, it's exactly what happened to us in Egypt 4,000 years ago. 4,000 years ago, it's exactly what we went through. When you go back and read them stories of Egypt and all them records and scrolls like we did, you'll find out, brother, that it was only one group of people that they hated in Egypt, and that was those Hyksos. There was people coming to Egypt from all over the world, just like in America. People, Egypt's empire, a lot of people don't know, Egypt's empire expanded all the way to the border of Babylon. They was running the Middle East, and all of that was run by the Egyptians. They was all the way damn near into Babylon, okay, which eventually started a war with the Babylonians because they were so far up into their world. They was all into Lower Europe with the Japhetics. They was in Italy and Greek and Crete and, you know, the Greek Isles. The Egyptians was all in there. They spread all the way west into Libya, what's known today as Libya and Morocco. They had a huge empire way down into the south, into what we know today as the Sudan. The Egyptian empire was super powerful, just like America's super powerful. And it spread all over the place. And people came and joined in the Egyptian empire from everywhere. It was a common practice, just like it is today. See how people take their sons and daughters, bring them to America and send them to college in America to get college degrees? Damn near every democratic country around the world, the leaders are educated in the United States, even in the Arab world. You go to the Arab world, all them sheiks and all that, all their kids go to school in the United States. Same with all the other countries. And guess what? In ancient Egypt, it was a known practice for you to have an alliance with the Egyptians. You had to send your sons and daughters to be educated in the Egyptian way of life. And so you sent them here. They got educated in the Egyptian way of life. They went back to their country and they mimicked what they had learned in Egypt in their own country. That's exactly what goes on in the universities of today. Come on, TikTok. You know we know the history, okay? Like, that's how it went down. And that's exactly what went down today. And we are the exact same people hated again. Yo, this job, you supposed to love this job. You supposed to, just like Christ said, man, you got to hate this world and love Christ's kingdom, because this world hates the hell out of the Lord's chosen people. It's totally against the Lord's chosen people, man. So lock it too, because that was such a spark what you brought out, man. Give it up for General Muhammad.
You got it, you die. Next story.
Are Canadian wildfires under control? Here's what's to know.
Yeah. One more time.
Khan, sir. Khan. Are Canadian wildfires under control? Here's what's to know. The thick smoke and haze that turned the New York City skyline orange and brought some of the worst air quality levels the Northeast has seen in decades was spawned by a series of wildfires burning in Canada.
Yeah, I mean, okay, them wildfires up there, that's some political nonsense. It's some political nonsense. And I got an opinion about it. I don't have no proof.
Wildfires?
Yeah.
Okay.
In Canada, I got an opinion about it. And my opinion about it is they burning out those natives up there. And they burning them out because they know that everybody knows except us that these countries are going to war. You see Ukraine? Them Russians turned Ukraine, brother, into Ukraine look like North Philly. That's how you go to North Philly. You want to experience, like, instead of you going downtown with them blue and yellow flags, you want to experience Ukraine? Go up North Philly. You go right up there in North Philly, up there. What's that? Seymour, Cecil B. Moore, and all up there. Just ride 8th and Butler. You know what I'm saying? Ride up to North Philly, brother, and you gonna be in Ukraine. You know what I mean? And including the bombs, the gunfire, everything. You're gonna get the full experience. It should be tours running through there. You know what I mean? Come visit Ukraine. Take you right up North Philly. And so all the nations know they're going to war. They know they're going to war. They know the Lord is bringing the war. You think they're not studying these scriptures and these prophecies? They study in every other nation. And it also show you they study every nation's gods and history, but they discount the Lord's. The Lord's, we don't know if their history is true. Well, it's a collection of books, so we ain't sure. Well, there's many copies and versions of it, we don't know. But you tell them something about the Anunnaki, they act like it's absolutely true. Tell them something about the emerald tablets. Well, the emerald, I don't want to be putting out the names for people to get intrigued by, but they got so many religions and gods from these heathens that they count as fact. You can best believe they experts count this truth as fact. They know these scriptures are true. They know this prophecy is true. Real quick, now get up off it. The Masons who founded this country was founded by Freemasons, not by Christians. That's a lie. Freemasons built this country, and them Freemasons believed in the Egyptian empire. That's what they believed in, man. They set America up exactly like the Egyptian empire, which is why they went to specific places to go get the slaves. How did they know all the way on this side of the world in the 1600s? How did they know all the way in the 1600s? How did they know where they could go all the way on the other side of the world to get slaves? Because they had already mapped out from the Roman Catholic Church where the slaves migrated from. They had all the records of the Assyrian Empire, all the records of the Babylonian Empire. They knew where we were. They knew where to go find us. And they went in there, and they didn't even go in the interiors. They went on the coast and worked it out with the heathens that were over there. They built this country to mimic Egypt. Okay? So they know also that just like ancient Egypt, that they're going to war. And I believe this is my opinion again. It's not scripture, but this is my opinion. They burning them heathens out of there and trying to get rid of them. All right. Enough of this, man. Can we get to this purple vaginistas? Now, y'all don't get me shut off TikTok, all right? Which also means to stop me also, because I know last week I definitely was getting kicked off TikTok. Your guy is about through with me. Y'all keep us on tonight. Just stop me if I go, because some of the stuff these clowns be doing be insane. So let's get it on, all right?
Now, the first one I sent you, let me know when it's ready. Yeah, I know you said you load it up now, right? But this first one is the one they complain about the time steps, right? About them being out at a certain time.
Right.
Now, for everybody understand this here, when we do our recon of a spot, we don't recon a spot 7 days a week. That reconnaissance we do, we check out a spot at the one day we're gonna go. Am I right? Right to the mind. Well, the day that you go out to camp, the day you go out to research that area, right? We don't go to camp Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But sometimes it's Friday, but we do it Friday, we go ahead and do the research, right? Most times we go out on Saturday. So when these brothers went out there to do the recon spot, it's on a Saturday.
Like, just so you can understand, How's saying when he say one day, meaning we go out the day we're going to speak for weeks. You know what I mean? If it's a Friday, we out there for Friday, every Friday for weeks before we green light that location. You know what I mean? Which has really been a courtesy to these purple vaginistas, because we've been out since 69 and they infringing on the work that those prophets did before they came out and joined this whole House of David BS. You understand? So we adopted a policy. That House of David was a nightmare. It was a nightmare that was created with that House of David. And all of these groups came out of it, including Nate. Nate then went through 3 or 4 groups and then started this group. A ton of them growing. And I realized something too about it all, y'all, that we are truly the only ones left. We are truly the only prophets of God. Like all this other stuff is a smokescreen. And the end of all of this is only going to be I.S.U.P.K. just like it was before. I guarantee it. That at the end of all of this, there will be no other groups out here but I.S.U.P.K. Everybody else will have morphed into some Christianity or some poison that, once again, Esau, when he see you move in a certain way, what does he do? Come in and destroy you. The problem is you can't destroy the I.S.U.P.K. traditionally, because we traditionally don't go along with nothing that Esau lays out. Right. So we a bigger problem. You know what I'm saying? That's right. But they do. So, but out of a courtesy, we tried to do that with them. But any corner we go on, it's the work of the Lord. These guys are cops. okay, and full of a bunch of lies. They're not even legitimate. But that is how we do it, just like you're saying. I just want everybody to know that we didn't mean we just go out one day. We go out on that day. We're going to go out for weeks. That was it, Salaki.
The water, sir. The water, sir. Explain it for everybody.
Most incorrect.
Yeah, I mean, the water, sir. So, once again, what Commander YAHANNA has said is this. You know what I mean? Those weeks that we do our recon, General Muhammad broke it down for you. Got 6 to 8 weeks where we check out a spot for you to go sit there and speak, right? So now, it would have been April 1st. I'm going to recap you on these things. They went on ahead and said certain things that needed to be corrected. So I'm going to recap you. April 1st was our Passover, right? With the Lord's annual Passover. So we didn't go to camp April 1st. Everybody was in North Carolina for the Passover. But prior to April 1st, that spot was checked out. And from March 31st to January 31st, according to what the brother saw and according to what they got on their own website, and I'm going to give you proof of that. When they got on their own website, they was not at that corner at all. There was nowhere in sight, sir, except for what, January 31st? You kidding me? One day, and that was a Tuesday. Mind you, that was a Tuesday. Now, I'm going to show you when we go through the clips. I'm going to show you the clips. The clips say January 31st. All of y'all go to y'all calendar, right? And look up January 31st and tell me what day that's on. Everybody do that. All y'all listen, go to y'all calendar. All y'all got phones. Go to the phone and see what day it is. You got it? All right, now. All right, we're going to go through it. All right, just take me through it. Bear with me, brother. We're going to go through a little slow, all right? All right, let me know when you're ready. All right, let's get it. Just stay with me on this one here, all right? All right, stop. April 8th. That's the week after the Passover. That's the week after the Passover. They came back. They already knew where they was going because the recon was already been done. Approval had already been given. They already know nobody was at that spot on that Saturday. You understand? Go ahead. Next day, what day is that? April 22nd. The next day was there. Now, let me say this to you. The 22nd, like I said previously, and the reason why it went from the 8th to the 22nd is because the week before, we had to stand down from camp. All of us to stand down. So we stood down. That's why they went out there on that Saturday. Now, they claim they was out there that day. I got you. Okay, no sweat problem. But we had been out there previous before then. And they knew we was out there. I'm going to give you proof of that as well. Go ahead. Let's go. What date is that?
April 29th, sir.
It's the 29th. The week after the 22nd. Here we go. We out there again. Again. What day is that?
May 13th.
May 13th, we was out there as well. Now, once again, the week prior was the 6th. And that day, Cam stood down on the orders of Commander YAHANNA because we had a council. He said it, right? Done. We were not out there. Go ahead.
I've also
now, what you're going to see here, the reason why I got into the clip is this here. What they did was they shot you a lot of misinformation, right? To try to discredit you when you bring out the real information. They had all this stuff they were saying about how we was wrong, what we were saying, and we giving out false information. And the guy said this is what they do. Like this their tactic and they PSYOP program. He brings it out. I put it in here on purpose. And I want you to hear what he says. Or how they try to discredit you when you bring out the real information. Go ahead, brother, play it.
Gun one con.
taking part of baiting, right? So, here's the other one. So part of the propaganda is baiting. So again, some of y'all will recall well, this part I already addressed in another video, but I'll talk about it specifically about one time Elder Nathaniel had an IOIC coin made with the old IOIC logo. And there was an ongoing joke about how GMS, because Elder Nathaniel still has beef with Elder Tahar or whatever. There's still whatever old beef, and that's a lot. I'm gonna say this: the elder Nathaniel has a lot of beef with a lot of brothers, and this is where a lot of the stuff stems from. And we're just pawns to all of this. He has a lot of beef with brothers from.
Yo, Salak, listen, you stopped it. He was about to drop it. I could not wait. That's all right. I'm gonna wait on you. No, I'm gonna wait on you. I'm gonna wait on you. Like, once again, he about to show how nasty Nate. Hold up, Salak. He about to show TikTok. Y'all got to see something there. He was about to show. I'm gonna let Hans run his program, but he was about to show how nasty Nate is doing so much. He's such an LGBTQ. And you die looking at me like, don't you say? I'm in the zone tonight. You die. I ain't getting out of pocket. Listen, when Shock called me, I get so many calls. Listen, sir, you have to try to not. Like I know I'm getting up there. They talking to me like a grandfather. They got to take out and put in the back room because he always coming out in his drawers or something. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, sir. Salak, we got shut down. You know, I'm on it, you die. I'm getting right. Anyway, but listen, on the real side is this cat dog is showing how he's such an LGBTQ in that he works in the dark. Like even how you saw how last week they said we just finished with this now. Mm-hmm. Finished with this doesn't mean they finished with it. It just means we're gonna stop making tapes about it, and instead we're gonna go in the background and work in cyberspace and attack you with fake comments and fake accounts and do all kind of dirty tricks in the background. That's what that means. Like this group right here is a diabolical group. And once again, big shout out to Officer Malak, man. Big shout out to him because, and I'm coming right back to Haas. I promise I won't ride him. But after tonight, you're gonna see why Officer Malak reacted the way he did. And you're gonna see how they provoked him to do this. And something that everybody that's a Hebrew Israelite should know, that this group here has been targeting all Israelite groups. And we so into the Most High and in the truth, we ain't even paying it no mind. We don't do cyber games. You don't play cyber games with us. Cyber games don't affect us, man. You know how many accounts we got? We pop open an account, send out an email to everybody. We back on another channel. Like I've been popping channels out for 10 years. Like ain't nobody moved by your little cyber game. But what was beautiful about what happened and why Malak did what he did, which I believe was the Lord doing it for this reason, was because now everybody in the entire Israelite world knows and is aware. Now everybody's looking at this purple vaginistas like, what is y'all doing in the dark? What is y'all, you know what I'm saying? Now that the proof is coming out, now they're saying, wait till Haas get to the one, and we might go over just by a few minutes tonight, and I'm going to let Haas finish the night. I promise Haas I ain't going to take it. You know what I mean? Like, because if Haas get to the part of the video where they talk about how they ripped off this football player and how they schemed it, it's going to be amazing to you. Like to me, it was amazing that a cat could try to call himself a Hebrew Israelite and run such a diabolical scam on people. You understand? And be accepted right back in after going to jail for it. Yeah. Be accepted right back in the same place he was after going to jail for it, which is insane. So my point being that this group right here has been moving on all the groups, including us. And I guarantee you, they, for some reason, knew that there was no other way to mess with us. And so they started this provocation. They probably been following us to every single camp. They probably doing stuff we ain't never even noticed because we ain't even focused on them. But now everybody see that this is an actual active law enforcement targeting of Hebrew Israelite groups. It's exactly what this is. And this is an ongoing thing, and I'm seeing the whole pattern now. Now I see from back in the day with Masha, I'm getting up off it. Back in the day, TikTok, from the days of Masha, these undercover cops were trying to poison this brother who was sincere to the Most High and to the truth. And once again, when you're trying to overthrow somebody, the fastest and easiest way to do it is to appeal to their ego. to pump them up. To pump them up. You this, you special, you somebody, you this. Nobody should be treating you like this. You should have your own throne. You should be a king. You the king. Wait a minute. Israel always had a king. You the king. We can be the king. And gassed Masha up, and these poison cats poisoned that brother, man, and got him to break off. And from that break off, all these fake ass groups break off. You see this body in here? This body here stays together. This body we got up in here, like that's why, listen, that's why me, myself, I'm just talking personally real quick. Me, myself, man, I'm so thankful to the Most High. I'm thankful to the Most High for General Muhammad. So thankful to the Lord to be rolling with a brother like this. So thankful for a brother like General Muhammad. Give it up for him. No, so thankful for a brother like General Muhammad. Thank the Most High power for these cats. Thank the Lord for Hazayan and the other generals and the captains too. I don't know them all that well. There's so many captains now, but I'm learning you and talking to you and learning you and reading you and following, and officers too, man, and all that. And I'm learning as much as I can for the time I am. But the body we got is incredible, man. It's incredible, and it's made by the most. This ain't made by me or man or none. This was made by the Most High and the hard works of the brothers that's in here. And I thank the Lord for it, because now I finally see the whole picture. I knew that they had moved on Masha, but I didn't know from where. Now I see from where, based on the Purple Vaginistas, that they had been running this op since 20 years. These are career operators. You understand that they making a career off of these type of operations. These is cats that's going to retire, you understand, with gold shields, you know what I mean, for doing dirty operations, you know what I'm saying, in this entire Israelite world, man. And they some diabolical dudes, man. I'm going to get up off it, man. But I just wanted to bring that part out, man. Salaki.
So, Marak, can we go back to it? Let's go back to the cat and what he explained it. Go ahead and hit play, brother.
Back in the day, he's still not has not been rectified, and now he's on this whole vengeance tip and provoking brothers and showing brothers up because he's still bitter because of however brothers treated him or whatever he's going on. From what I can recollect, he's just
now. Hey, I'm sorry. Did you hear what he just said? Now on tape, you will never hear Nate say nothing wrong about anybody, but this cat is saying he's on this vengeance tip. He's still angry for what these brothers did, which means this sodomite is in the back. Can I use it? It's tight, no problem. This LGBTQ is in the back, is in the forefront, acting like we brothers, we got to forgive, we got to work together. In the background, he's full of every vile vengeance and revenge and anger, just like an LGBTQ.
He's closeted.
He's closeted. That's the word I'm looking for. He's in the closet. He's in the closet. So he do his dirty work in the closet. But this cat is in the closet with him and knows, and that's why his description is nothing you see on tape.
That's right.
Which is just like them pastors. Them pastors, man, in the out front, they all, magnanimous. Those bishops, thank you. Those bishops is, magnanimous and brotherly and loving. In the back room, they mad and full of vile, evil anger and revenge and all of this. Cat may like he act like we supposed to be brothers, man. Meanwhile, when you get off the air, you in the back room hating them from 20 years ago because somebody took your soda out the refrigerator. That orange soda, boy, man, the end. Brotherhood had to end over that orange soda. You know what I mean? So lock your hearts. I just had to get in on that. I'm gonna try to stay out. Come on. God, Salaki. That's my fault. My bad.
You told us a while ago about the animosity, not the average brother.
John.
That's a poison.
It is.
And that you don't let live in here. But we see it living in other groups, especially in purple cats.
That's why as a man, you have to. Even though you don't want to, as a man, you have to go to a brother when he offend you. As a man, you have to. He offend you. If you got to ask yourself, am I offended by this? And if it's true, whether you right or wrong, or whether you just got to clear the air, you have to. You have to say it. Even if you ain't ready to say it that moment, plan on it and say to yourself, yo, I got to go say this. And convict yourself on it so that you do go say it. Because once you say it, man, you could be completely wrong. It could be a misunderstanding. And even if it's not, at least the air gets clear. You know what I'm saying? Now both of you don't got to think about it no more. And brother, without that, once again, they will get in the ear of one of you and poison you. And it don't have to be the top men. It could be anybody in here. They get in your ear and, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And somehow, remember, Nate was waiting at the train station of the brother from the Bronx who was traveling all the way to Far Rockaway to go to school. Now, he on this train for 2 hours crossing the whole city of New York. He get off the train in Far Rockaway to go to class. Guess who's standing in uniform at the bottom of the steps as he come out the subway every time? Like damn near clocking his time and talking to him, and eventually destroyed that brother. So they'll do it to anybody out. Like, you got to really be paying attention. Go ahead, Salam.
Yes, sir. Come on. Go back.
Vicious.
Now it makes sense. Like everything he did was like a shot at everybody else. So, from the old school. So, anyways, he had the joke was that, oh yeah, listen, I'm gonna put this picture out there so for y'all to put out on the fake dummy accounts. So then brothers can say that we sold out and we got our own currency. So now don't quote me verbatim, but that's
whoa. Did y'all hear that? This cat, come on, Haas.
Yeah,
this
you caught
cat,
that,
Haas caught it.
You caught that? I didn't know.
Haas made the clip. He caught this clip, this little portion right here, Haas put together, which was, Haas, ex-cops. He know how to detect some dirty shit. He know how to he don't practice in it, but he been around it. He know how to look at that dirty. Like, yes, he smell it out. Yo, do you hear that? And he specifically said, Nate said, come on, TikTok. Nate turned around and said, we're going to create this coin. And we're going to I want y'all to put it on all the fake accounts. And we're going to put it out and so that they could react and say, we sold out.
That we got our own currency. He create the bad news about it.
Yes.
So that people could say the bad news.
To draw them in.
So that he could say, see, y'all wrong. That ain't even true.
Yes.
So he create a lie about himself, negative lie.
Woo!
So that when people say, see, y'all doing something negative, he can go, no, we not. Y'all tripping. That's just some internet lie that he made up about himself.
Yes. Like this cat here is, this is Spengali, this cat right here. Like you would never know. In the background, this cat is all in
like somebody have a check. You say, General Mayak stole some money.
Yeah.
Put the check online. Okay, but it's Mayak. That's that.
Which is twofold. It's twofold in this. One, for the ones that think it's jazzy, they're going to say to themselves, dang, them cats created their own currency. See, we got to get away from things. Then the other side is going to be like, oh, that's evil. They made their own. Like, he get the Spengali both sides of the argument.
And then Mayak can come out next week on the video and go, what stupid idiot said I had a check that proved I'm a thief. Here's the real check right here.
Yes.
And meanwhile, it was Mayak that put.
And if
I don't understand these LGBT. They on some. I don't even think like that.
Like they on a different. And listen, and this cat is like you bring it out in the tape. This cat is saying this coming from Nate himself, and he's saying, listen. And this cat here, he understands the whole psychology of Nate. He understands how he interacts with his enemies and what he's angry about. You see how he's bringing out what he like. This cat right here. Boy, oh boy, somebody need to interview him. Somebody need to sit down and interview him because he got a deep understanding of the psychosis of this diabolical dude. Like, once again, it ain't but one Israelite group. The Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge since 1969. Because this right here, whatever this is right here, this is beyond the pale. Once again, I'm gonna say it again. Big shout out to Officer Malak for being so courageous. Because Malak's courage done open up all these doors. Damn, go ahead, Haas. My goodness. My goodness, this cat. TikTok, come on, y'all. Y'all know this is crazy.
That's basically what the conversation was about. And then to add some spice to it, we I added a certain a video of some men. There was like a security camera in the parking lot, and it was dark, and there was a really tall, skinny fellow, and it was put out there that was Ithon and certain one and others, and unfortunately, the brothers at GMS took the bait and they ran with it, and then IOIC clowned them. So the whole purpose of that was to ruin the credibility of brothers. So when actual evil arrives,
come on, Paul, you got the boss. It's us. Yo, you mean to tell me this cat had them take a videotape of some random dude,
just skinny guy.
Some was just a skinny
security footage.
Yes, and then take that footage, and this cat works for the government for sure. Like not him, I'm talking about Nate. Like, and then take that footage out, and then fed it to GMS, his rivals, had them take the bait and probably kicked the cat out of there. Probably falsely accused him of something and kicked him the hell out. Yo, that's an incredible evil dude right here. Yeah, that is an incredibly evil
to make
dude.
Up a lie about yourself just so you can prove the lie false
is incredible in itself.
Wild as hell.
Yes, but it's a sin to falsely accuse another man.
Yes, it is.
That is a sin before the Lord. Like you want to be a slime ball is on another level to do what we said about the coin. But this right here is to destroy the credibility of this brother. You understand? Even though he's in a fake group, but to destroy his credibility is a sin to do that, man. Scripture said, bear not false witness against thy neighbor. Like you gonna bear false witness on this cat and destroy him among his own brothers. Like you are a COINTEL operative. And how do you like when did this start getting deployed? I'll tell you, way back in the 90s when he first came in 91. That's when all the major chaos started. And y'all know I used to tell y'all stories all the time about the chaos that went on in New York. It's part of why when the assignment came to come to Philly, that's why I came. Because it was so much chaos going on in New York. They said, man, we got an assignment in Philly, man. Nobody wants to go because Philly in the 80s was so damn violent at that time. Nobody wanted to come down here. I said, man, I'll take that assignment. And I jumped on it and came on down here because I said, well, I can get away from the fray for a minute and just work over here while they fix this nonsense going on up here. I realized now what? Because of this right here. Like this cat here, he on another level of evil. This dude right here. And once again, this is why they want to stop these videos. But this right here gonna get written in stone with our eyes on them now, real good. We seeing these dudes now. Like he's definitely government. He's definitely government. Ain't no black man that comes into this truth and studies these scriptures and learns this truth could take on that kind of demon. There's no way you got that duality in you to be that demonic and at the same time profess yourself to be a man of the Lord and learning and quoting scriptures. That means that you in a full undercover operation with straight up strong intent. Yep. Like that's a monster, man. Y'all got to see that TikTok. Please, I'm done. I'm out.
So that's military psyops.
That's military psyops. Damn.
That's military psyops 101 almost.
Wow.
That's how they destabilize governments by doing exactly what he did right there.
Wow.
They use it a lot in Vietnam.
Wow. And once again, we singing brotherhood is a weapon, but we have no idea how important that is. Like we have no idea why the Lord pressed us in here to make sure our brotherhood is right because of how so much demonic nonsense tries to enter into the body of Yahushua and to destroy us all. Please,
I read a heavy scripture during class where the scriptures say, somebody who hears the word of the Lord and follows it is like a man who built a house on a rock and the winds blow. So all this crap coming out, the winds blowing, hitting the UPK, but our rock is solid. It said in the rock, and like brotherhood, that's our rock. You know what I mean?
Deep, General, deep. Wow. Salakia Haas, please. I'm so amazed by this, what you bring it out. I hate to keep cutting it, but I'm amazed by it.
And then IOIC clowned them. So the whole purpose of that was to ruin the credibility of brothers. So when actual evil arose and other camps wanted to actually speak on evil that was happening at IOIC, it would hold no weight because, well, y'all guys have been desperate on taking IOIC down. Now it's like, whatever you say doesn't hold weight.
So all them receipts that IUIC talk about, they create the goddamn receipts.
Oh,
like I would call them like, yo, how would this like this? It don't make sense. Now I'm not really like that ain't my real forte, right?
Of course.
But I'm asking, brother, like, how is this possible? Like, I ain't getting this part here. I'm like, getting this part here. Why not? I go on their website and what they're saying don't reflect what I'm seeing on here. I'm like, hold up, what's going on here? Like, I don't understand it. Everything I said, you can find on their website, either on the YouTube or Facebook. From what I said, and it ain't making sense. Now you know why.
wow.
And they did something to us. They tried to. They tried to discredit us by how we niggas and niggas do anything and XYZ and push that narrative. So now when we go do some more research and come back with some truth, now you don't want to really hear us. That's the whole reason why they said, but we ain't gonna talk about it no more. You're gonna let it go. You're gonna be the bigger person. We're gonna go to the corner. You know what I mean? All that was a PSYOP program. You know what I mean? Try to discredit us because of what they're doing. That's all it is, sir.
Like, woo. Like, man. Come on, Haas. You got more? What else you got?
I got more. Come on, Mariah.
I can't wait. Give me some more. TikTok, y'all got to get some more of this, man. You got to understand 2023? You got to understand the COINTELPRO of 2023 is now targeting the Hebrew Israelites. The same way they targeted the Black Panthers in the 60s and other groups. The Hebrew Israelites have finally risen to the point that COINTELPRO operations are being operated against them, man. Wake up to the new world. The truth is the truth. Go ahead, General, please.
Yes, sir. Come on, sir.
So, y'all been lying. Y'all flew with all these other slanders and everything else. Now, why would anyone believe you now? So, again, I apologize.
All right, let's stop. He apologized for what he did. Now, what I did was just to show you proof, right? Like we was gonna go out there, but first we couldn't because it was the Passover weekend. So we went the week after when they came back from Passover. But what I did was I backtracked. All this is from their website and when they got up. I backtracked all the dates I saw of camps, right? For the whole year of 2023. From March 31st all the way to January 2023. And as you go through the clips, right, Mariah? What date is that, Mariah? May 31st. That's May 31st. They're not at the library. Now, they said we at the library consistently every Saturday. There you go. March 31st, no library. I'm curious as to what date that is. Y'all check it out when you don't see what date it is. Go to the next one, brother.
That was March 31st, Salaki.
Mm-hmm.
Just like you said, sir.
Well, which one is that?
March 24th.
March 24th. That's not the library, is it? Looks like they on the street to me.
It sure ain't in the library.
They not at the library.
Kansas City, fam. Kansas City. TikTok. That's what we examining. Kansas City.
Go to the next one.
March 17th.
Does that look like the library? No, I think I see an orange building in the background. I don't see the blue library, do you? No, I don't see it. Go ahead.
So they were going to other camps and then targeted our camp in their usual PSYOP programs. So all of this was contrived by them because they were teaching somewhere else. And they contrived this to plot on us on that corner. Once again, Officer Malak is my hero, man. That cat is a hero. That cat is a hero, man. So much good has come out of this. Go ahead, John.
You're welcome, brother.
March 9th.
March 9th, here we go.
Kansas City. No library.
What library at? But they said their word was they are out there consecutively every Saturday. They're not there and here. Now this is off their website. I can only go off what they put out. They made a comment about us saying things with no proof, and we just talking, and that niggas will lie. Okay, fine. I went on your website. I went and got what you showed on your website, and this is what was on your website. Go ahead.
Like everything that comes out of the purple vaginistas is a complete lie. Like everything that they say, everything they lay out, anything that they put down, you can get after what we just saw from an insider to their PSYOP program. Everything that they put out is a fabrication. Whether even if it's the stuff that's against them, it's still a fabrication. Like it's amazing. Go ahead,
sir. This same brother that's revealing the truth about the IUIC because he was in there. After Nate saw this video, Nate called him. Can I say the word I.S.U.P.K? Nate called him a racial slur.
Damn.
Nate called him a. Can I say it?
Don't even say it.
Nate called him a racial slur.
After that,
for a Latino man.
Wow.
From Mexico.
Wow.
After this,
one of the lost 12 tribes of the children of Israel.
That's right.
You call him a racial slur, which means that this cat does not even believe in the 12 tribes of Israel.
He doesn't.
This is a cop. This is a dirty cop who they built the group around him.
Mm-hmm.
And for the last decade or more, really more, because you can go all the way back to the days of Mashah, this cat has been doing cyber operations to destroy Hebrew Israelites for decades.
Yes, sir.
And go ahead, General, please.
I don't know no other Israelite group out of all they breakoffs that just denounced the Hebrew.
Yes.
That was weird to me.
They
was marching 200 cats in Kansas City talking about hallelujah, hallelujah, singing hallelujah,
which is Hebrew.
Well, it's
English.
the
English part of the Hebrew.
I ain't never seen, instead of saying like normally an Israelite, even a Christian Israelite, would throw some Hebrew in
right.
there, halal, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But they marching and singing and praying, sounding like the church with no Hebrew.
Yeah. Incredible,
But
incredible.
He said on the tape, when he went up to Barak, he gave Barak the salute. Yahweh Shem HaShai Barakatah. So what is it? Like, do you believe in the Hebrew or you don't believe in the Hebrew? Which one is it now? You talk about you don't follow the Hebrew, it ain't no real language. Okay, fine. Why did you salute Barak in the Hebrew then?
I'll show you how diabolical they are. Like when it's convenient, they'll switch back to the Hebrew to get cool with you while they plotting on you.
Cordial.
Yeah, to be cordial. We was cordial to him. You was a straight up bully to him. Low battery. Can I get a charger on this one? We looking good.
Operation.
You sure you don't need your?
It should be a red one over there that we had last week.
We low, so quick as you can.
So let's continue, brother.
This is incredible.
Like, these dates are important because these dates go back to us doing our recon of an area. You understand? I went to the Mother March on purpose. The reason being is that we check out an area that we're going to speak in. The day we're going to speak on how Commander YAHANNA said, and like how General Miami put out a couple of weeks ago. So now, that day, we go out there on that Saturday looking for anybody else out there and just check out the footage, checking out the traffic and everything. Yo, these cats ain't been on that corner. What they are saying right here. This from their website. You understand me? Back during
Morale wants you for something.
I'm sorry.
Back during the time.
Wrong charge. Okay.
Back during the time, we in March now. You understand? Like we in March now. Keep on going, Mariah.
Got on one con. This is March 1st. February 16th.
February 16th. Go
You
ahead.
gotta get a cord.
January 31st.
January when?
If you
31st.
January 31st. They back in front of the library, right?
Got on one count.
Right. So now when we get our 8 weeks, will go into what?
Do what you
February, right?
Got on one count.
So according to us, wasn't nobody out there.
Right.
When we did our search, wasn't nobody out there. According to your records, what you got on your websites, wasn't nobody out there.
Listen, we know now that it was a total cyber operation, meaning a total COINTELPRO in this, that they knew they ain't never been out there. They already knew. But they went and, first of all, they targeted our brothers in Kansas City, then moved on them, which you're going to show later. I can't wait to see that tape with them moving the speaker. You know what I mean? Like Malak said it too. He was like, sir, they were moving. I drilled Malak on to make sure I was drilling him like, yo, why did it go the way it went? He was like, sir, they moved the speaker 3 times. They came out and said, we always have our speaker there, and showed pictures of it, which was a complete psyop operation to try to discredit Malak. You know what I'm saying? But we stood with Malak, and then now Haas finally got the proof that they was running a cyber operation on the whole camp. Like, they talk about amazingly evil. Once again, man, Officer Malak, Officer DeGalgabar, all 4 of the brothers out there. Captain DeGalgabar, courageous, man, brothers, that y'all stood up for this truth. And listen, and so much good has come out of it. Like, now we are doubly aware of these cats and how they operate, and how this is a total cop operation. Excuse me. A total law enforcement operation, man, to discredit the Hebrew Israelites. And I won't be surprised if they don't disband them shortly, because now that they've been exposed, you're gonna see they're gonna become non-effective in all those dirty tricks that they doing. Now every Israelite group, everybody watching Israelites, everybody knows that all their comments are fake comments. Yeah. And all those middle of the road comments, y'all should be brothers. Why y'all arguing? What's the difference between the 2 camps? All of those stuff you hear, all of them are fake. All of them come from them. Once again, and he's so diabolical, like you said, he'll make comments against them just to mask what he's doing, to come against himself, just to mask what he's saying, which is so good in PSYOPs, in that his whole point is to destabilize every Israelite group and to make all of the groups not credible, including himself. Like, he wants himself to be uncredible and everybody else to be uncredible, so that anybody looking at it will be like, well, you can't rely on nothing these Hebrew Israelites say, because all of them is not credible. Go ahead, Joe.
He got to keep his own purple quiet boys in disarray.
Yes.
You know, be confused.
Exactly. Like, amazing. Yes, and one last quick point. And what was so heavy is, okay, he used racial slurs on that Issacharite brother from so-called Mexico. He used that racial slur on them because he believes that brother bringing out what he did was based on his so-called Mexican heritage.
Yes.
Like, the righteousness in the brother, the honesty in the brother pissed him off because he knew it came from his Mexican roots. And that's why the brother was apologizing. Yeah. That brother know he was caught up in some really, really evil stuff. Yeah. And he was doing horrible, evil stuff. And once again, an average cat would have some level of morals to not do this. That's why he's apologizing. But like, he realized now that they use me to do, horrible things. Go ahead.
Like, you wake up one day and realize the government is playing you. You're working for the government.
Yes. It's like, oh my God. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why we came together and was like, you know what? We're going to let our brothers be innocent. We ain't going to have our brothers dragged into this. You know what I'm saying? Remember, we talked about it. Like, we talked about it, was like, we ain't going to never let our brothers get dragged up into this kind of thing. They can go ahead and do that if they want to, man. With us, we're going to keep it clean and right and just how we like it to be, man. We ain't going to engage in that nonsense y'all engage in, man, because it's demonic. You understand? It's demonic, and you're gonna become ineffective after a while. They're gonna have to disband you after a while.
I can guarantee right now there's talks in the IUIC about changing that color from purple.
Of course.
I can guarantee it.
Oh,
Someone in the IUIC should just say it, that they have discussed not wearing that purple in it.
Listen, everybody that leaves there, I never see them wear purple again.
They picked the color that the Bible specifically says that the wickedest men in history wear purple. It's in the Bible. You're not going to tell me that they don't know that young men in there aren't saying we should try another color or try different colors besides this purple. And it's LGBT.
Yes. Like he's you know what I mean? Like he's so and once again, like that's what you would go get. If you were good at cyber warfare, you would get a man who is actually a closet sodomite and a cop, and you would use him because you know that he will never in his soul convert to what you believe in because you know he's a sodomite. Yeah. So you know he ain't gonna never have a spirit of conscience.
He's immoral.
He's immoral.
So he can do anything.
Yes.
He doesn't have any integrity because he lives his life in an immoral way.
Yes.
And he knows how to keep a secret.
Yes.
That's
forget about it. You know he know how to keep a secret. He in the LGBT. You know he know how to keep a secret.
Oh yeah.
Right. You hit it dead on the mark. Go ahead, Haas. Let's get back into it. TikTok, you getting a lesson here that you ain't never got before, huh?
He perfected that closet.
He done perfected that closet out.
So, sir, I think we done with the whole time stamp thing.
Okay, that's true. Give it up. You know what I'm saying?
This clears everything up.
Yep.
Right here, any questions about it? Clears it up. And if you want to fact check what I brought out, go to their website.
That's it.
What you got to do? Go to their website, their YouTube page, the Facebook page. It'll clear everything up. You understand that? That's where I got it from. Now, with that being said, Mariah, you got the number 2, right? The video, right? The video that was put out a little bit earlier this week, we'll go back over that video with some added things. I'm going to say big up to Kazak Ahmad. I think he put some things together that was very, very heavy for this here. We'll go back to this again. Because you're going to hear some things that was said by them. And we're going to see if they right or wrong. Remember what the cat said, how they try to make things appear to be one way, but really it's not. Let's see. Not that one, Mariah. Not that one. You got it? Play.
Process that the so-called white man has given us and forced us to live under. But y'all understand that. Y'all understand that.
Put here on purpose. Because what he said was, he said a process so-called white man gave us and different things going on and things are being done falsely. Fine. These are his words. This is what he said. But let's continue, brother.
Every time I pause,
okay, no problem.
Count on one count.
Process that the so-called white man has given us and forced us to live under. But y'all understand that. Y'all understand that. What we have to do, brothers, is give me Leviticus real quick. We have to cut the bull, bro. Real talk, man. Leviticus.
Where's this purple shirt?
Hold on. 19.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 19 and verse 16. Well, 11. Ye shall not steal, neither deal falsely.
There's a lot of false dealings going on right here in this situation.
And notice the speaker. Notice the speaker.
He said false dealings in this situation. Like whatever happened that day, it's a thing that's going on that's not true. All right, go ahead.
Thank you. What up?
Keep on going, Mariah.
Process that the so-called white man has given us and forced us to live under. But y'all understand that. Y'all understand that. What we have to do, brothers, is give me Leviticus real quick. We have to cut the bull, bro. Real talk, man. Leviticus. Hold on. 19.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 19 and verse 16. Well, 11. Ye shall not steal, neither deal falsely.
There's a lot of false dealings going on right here in this situation.
And notice the speaker. Notice the speaker.
The speaker has always been there,
right?
As well as where they set up.
At.
Now we're in 2018 now.
We
2018.
So according to them, we tied.
We
Right?
now.
In their mind?
In their mind. In their mind.
Go ahead, bro.
I guarantee. Nah, I ain't gonna say that.
West 125th Street, Hall of New York.
Our Father God, law, statute, commandments.
Shalom, Israel. We the I.S.U.P.K. Start out of the West 125th Street, Hall of New York.
Process that the so.
You said what space they had there, dude?
Sure.
You said the space
It was a big gap.
In between the speaker.
It was a big gap.
Two men could walk by that daggone space. It was a big, big gap. So why did you say that we sat right next to the speaker? We didn't. Like, that is a lie.
Like, they straight up tried us. They straight up tried us. That's what happened here. They straight up tried us, man. And everybody should see it. Everybody should see it so that later on, it ain't no question. They tried us. That's what happened here. Go ahead, Slaki. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Process that the so-called white man has given us and forced us to live under. But y'all understand that. Y'all understand that. What we have to do, brothers, is give me Leviticus real quick. We have to cut the bull, bro. Real talk, man. Leviticus, hold on, 19.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 19 and verse 16. Well, 11. Ye shall not steal, neither deal falsely.
Neither deal falsely. There's a lot of false dealings going on right here in this situation.
Yes. You notice the speaker. You notice the speaker.
The speaker has always been there.
Right. As well as where they set
Where
up
they
at.
set up at. Now we're in 2018 now.
2018.
So according to them, we tied.
We
Right? In their mind?
In their mind. In their mind.
Go ahead, bro.
I guarantee. Nah, I ain't gonna say that.
West 125th Street, Hall of New York.
Our Father God, law, statute, commandments.
Shalom, Israel. We the I.S.U.P.K. Start out of the West 125th Street, Hall of New York.
This guy's the dumbest, retarded, stuff I've ever seen in my life, bro. Here you are all the corners of me.
You're not gonna teach no damn Bible with skinny jeans on and pump boots. Those are some damn pump boots, bro. It's time to repent and come out of that lifestyle, bro. You brothers are homosexual. I know what the problem is.
What he talking about?
These guys is here. The purple guys is trying to push the other guys out the way. They turn their speaker their direction and they move their cooler in their section. Just look at the speaker. It's facing the other Israelites. Check it out.
Give it up for General Haziel. And all the brothers, Kazak Ahmad and all the brothers that work with y'all. Let me tell you something, man. Y'all brothers vindicated. Y'all vindicated the KC4. You totally vindicated them. I mean, that tape is crystal clear that they are provoking us. And that's why that cat made that tape. That cat is not with us. No. That older cat there is a pastor. And if I'm remember the report correctly, he has battled us. So he is not one of our friends. He's battled us on scriptures, but he also was willing to be honest about what happened. He saw what happened, and he saw, sitting in the audience, he saw that them cats straight up targeted us. Like, this is a cyber cop operation now. And this is a COINTELPRO operation, and it's been exposed. He saw that they were moving on us and saw how they was doing it. Like he said, they trying to move them off the corner.
Process that
the cats that's in here is a different type of dude that's in there with y'all. Now, y'all got them sodomites and Christian cats up in there with you. You understand? And we got cats out here that they grew up learning from being in the street. They not stupid. They know when you are moving against them, and they know when they got to push back. That's right. Like Officer Malak knew. He saw them move the cooler. He saw them moving the speakers. He saw they moving on him. He's staying away on the other side of the camp to make sure he don't take it to the next level. And then they stepped in the camp and moved the chair. And then he knew he had no choice. He had to defend this because they kept on going. They kept on going, and he knew at that point, I have to do something. I have no choice. You understand? And this is good vindication for everybody in the truth. If they was ever wondering, which in UPK ain't nobody wondering, they got full confidence in the leadership. And this also was good information for everybody else that's watching. Now you understand why we are the way we are about this group. This is a real demonic group, and which is why we have the same policy we had since 1969. We don't affiliate with any other Israelite group at all. Now you understand why. Like, could you imagine if we had joined Barack and them's, what they call that thing? Unity camp. Could you imagine if we had joined that unity camp? Could you imagine if we tried to reach out and work with the purple vaginistas? Like, we would have been walking into a death trap. We would have been, any of them moves right there, we would have been walking into a death trap. Instead, we stood in our zone. Oh, you made a big screen to watch. Instead, we stood in our zone. And because we stood with the Lord, now all of this is getting exposed. This is all getting exposed. Give it to us one more time, just for my own personal sense. Okay, throughout, if you can. Look at this. And because everybody watching can see it as well. Oh, yeah, there you go. Like, check this out. This is amazing. You able to back up just a little bit before they move it? Just a little. Oh, that's the second move. Go back a little. Okay, right there. Look at this clown. Look at that.
I thought God law such a commandment.
Shalom, Israel.
Now look, Mark is on the other side. He ain't even over there. Moving it again.
Retarded is the best I've ever seen in my life, bro. Here you are all the corners on the streets.
You're not gonna teach no damn Bible when skinny jeans on and pump boots. Those are some damn pump boots, bro. It's time to repent and come out of that lifestyle, bro. You brothers are homosexual. I know what the problem is.
He turned it into him. Yeah. Like, once again, these are COINTELPRO operators. Look, he's already, and listen, he's still got room between him and the chair. Like, they can't get close enough. And look how big that speaker is. They blasting that speaker into the camp while these brothers trying to teach.
You know, that old purple mama's boy, the choir boy, the big one, he claimed, you know, we out there edifying the people. They come out, worry about us. We edify the people. How is your speaker turning it toward our camp, edifying the people?
Yes. Yes. Boy, oh boy. Listen, they won't be looked at as innocent anymore, TikTok. Like, it's clear now. Now we know that these are not innocent, nice church boys. That these are cats that's operating in the dark. And they got the majority of their work is done in the dark. It's done in the dark. Fake accounts, fake this, fake that, fake names, fake everything. They operating totally in the dark. And we've been operating so straight up. Big shout out to I.S.U.P.K for being straight up and honest. Go ahead, Op.
Yo, that guy who was speaking.
Yeah.
That guy was the one battling Malak on the microphone.
The same guy.
That's the same one.
He was bringing the speaker up, and then this was a targeted attack on the Kansas City camp. This was a full-fledged targeted account on the Kansas City camp. And I hope everybody sees it, so you don't got to ask me no questions later on. Don't ask me nothing later on. Go ahead. Go ahead.
If I can, and I could understand the attack. If you my enemy, we at war, I'm attacking you. Goddamn right, I'm attacking you. But to lie and play the victim, and it's just a chair, and look, we did it so nice, and they attacked us, and they the victims. That's the part. That's the
amazing part.
Operation.
Yes, because listen, right after it came out, I don't mean to cut you off, General. I won't make you. Listen, after it came out, I don't know if it's still plugged in over there.
It's still plugged in.
Okay, yeah, okay. Listen, okay, what you're saying is so heavy, General. Like, after the operation, after they ran the operation, right? All over the internet, you had all these comments about, yo, it's just a chair. It's just a chair. What's the big deal? It's just. Meanwhile, all them comments was them.
That was them.
That was them. That was them saying saying? It's just a chant. Listen, hoping that brothers and sisters in the truth would be like, why y'all went off on just a chant? You don't understand the UPK. Listen, sisters was calling me up like, YAHANNA, man, I carry heat too. I was like, yo, y'all gotta chill, all right? They were sisters wanting to roll on them. Because them sisters now know more than ever that you are the ones fakely befriending them. You trying to destroy marriages. Like, that's a full government operation. Because you in there trying to destroy marriages, trying to pretend to be women. You doing and then putting out posts like putting out